I'm Tom Staup with Speedway Video.
And I'm Ryan Stevens from the Racing with Ryan podcast.
And this is the first episode of Do a Burnout.
Tom's going to present some hot sauces and some questions to myself. And we're going to take the hot sauce challenge here. We'll answering those questions. And then on episode 2, the roles will be reversed. I'll have my line of hot sauces, which Tom is going to taste and answer my questions. And then
we will pick from those 12 sauces what the lineup is that you get to try.
That's right.
You reach out to us in whatever way makes the most sense for you, in person, on Facebook. You know how to do it. And get yourself right here between us. There will be a little bit more space.
Yes.
These first 2 episodes will be to show you what the show's going to be.
That's it.
And then you put your butt right here. So I think we should just get into it, man.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Welcome to episode 1 of Do a Burnout.
We are starting with the Devil's Blend Roasted Pepper.
Okay.
By Hellfire.
And this is a green sauce, and I'm always a little wary about the green sauces.
I know
but
you
hey,
are.
green is always a good way to start.
And I knew you'd make that joke,
Yep.
which is not part of why I picked this. I picked this because this is made with jalapeno.
Okay.
And Carolina Reaper, which both of us like.
Okay, so we're starting low and then we're going right up there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
I feel like this is quite a mild start.
Okay.
But this
Oh, that smells good.
actually reminds me a little bit
Okay.
of the jalapeno margaritas that you and I had that one day, day of the World Series
yes,
rained out, and we went to Epcot.
God, that's the best part about Disney.
There's also some habanero, roasted garlic, and granny apples in here.
Okay.
I really like this sauce. Let's dig
Dig right in.
in.
Okay. So it's got some heat up front, but it's not overpowering at all. This is a good start. Yeah, it's almost got a smokiness to it. You get the heat, but it doesn't overpower you. This is something you could eat with dinner and still taste your dinner. This is a good sauce.
So, we know you as the voice of the New Smyrna Speedway primarily. Not as many people may know the music that you make right here in the Racing with Ryan podcast studio. You use the moniker Exploring the Monolith. Tell us about that.
I have been playing drums since I was a little kid. And as I've gone through the years, my interest in music, progressive metal, that kind of scene, which you've heard of the likes of Between the Buried and Me and that kind of stuff throughout the years. Tolerated. Yes, tolerated. I've been in bands. I've done that whole thing. None of that ever really went anywhere. And racing is my life. Music is my hobby. And I did just put out an EP entitled What is the Sun? And it's an in-depth album kind of draped in metaphor. And I think I sent you the lyrics before the album came out, and you could kind of tell what it was all about. And it's kind of a personal album, but it's projected in a way where people can just enjoy it. But if you really dig deep into the lyrics and think about the content, it might make a little more sense. I actually worked on it for about 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's probably one of the best things I've done. And as I put that album out and I listened to it, I'm like, it's good, but I see how I can improve. And that's how I've always been. It's take what you have and never be 100% satisfied with it, because it makes you better.
And as someone who describes listening to that style of music as tolerance, I enjoy it. All right, man. I almost thought about not including this one.
Pirate's Lantern.
And it's their Bajan pepper sauce. Because we're going to see Scotch Bonnet again later in the lineup very prominently. But man, this stuff is so good that I just could not talk myself out of it. It is a mustard sauce. We're also working with some Caribbean rum and horseradish.
Oh, I get the horseradish right away. It does have a strong mustard. Sorry to talk in my mouth full, but that's part of the, I do get the flavor of mustard. That bite, there was that bite right before you said horseradish. I'm like, there's a secondary bite here. I don't know that I would necessarily sit around and dip this on my own, but that's a good experience.
You and I have known each other for 17 years.
It's been that long.
It's been 17 years.
We're almost adults.
And evidence would suggest the contrary. In almost all of that time, we have put together a catalog of short films on YouTube.
Correct.
That we call Dark Departure. You play a killer character who, in the third movie, came out on top in the end. Our characters fight each other, you come out on top in the end, and you rescue a young girl in the process. In the theoretical 4th Dark Departure movie, what's the storyline?
Man, that's a good question, because we've dabbled in talks about what's the next thing we're going to do, and yet here we are doing this.
Yeah.
I'll say that filming the Dark Departure movies has been some of the most fun times I've ever had in my life. We put our bodies through hell. Your daughter played that girl that we ride off into the sunset, and I've thought about doing like the old mask that I have that we filmed with. I still have, and it's falling apart. I'm walking around and I stumble into the shed and I see that old mask and I put it on, and then I just track everybody down and take them out because
something clicks in your brain.
Yes, it's like I put that mask back on and I'm ready to just tie up any loose ends, and I feel like the young girl that rides off in the sunset with me is who becomes the new hero and puts a stop to all the madness. So that kind of coming of age story. At the end of Dark Departure 3, I've come to grips with myself, and I'm riding off in the sunset trying to change my way, but I find that old mask, I put it on, and I go back to my old ways, and the young lady puts a stop to it all.
So, Mako Snake by the Spicy Shark is what I describe as a curry sauce, because I get Indian notes from it. There are Indian ghost peppers in it, but there are also bells and reapers and habanero, and then the additional flavor comes from sweet potato, mango, a whole bouquet of different things.
So we're ramping up the heat a little bit here.
You tell me.
Okay. Oh. That's unique. Holy cow. Oh, and it not only does it hit you late, but it radiates.
It's living.
It lingers.
It's
lingers.
paying rent.
Yeah, it's living rent-free in my mouth right now, but it's good.
So, you obviously have honed your own style of play-by-play and color commentary over the years.
Yeah.
And in the process, you've had the privilege of working with a lot of other people who were in the business before we were even born. What is the best or most memorable piece of advice that you've gotten from one of your mentors?
Well, that's a really good question, because obviously it's from Ben Dodge. I've had the privilege to work with Ben Dodge during Speed Weeks. And listen, when I started New Smyrna, my first World Series, I was told, hey, Ben is here to do the modifieds. He may help you out a little bit. He's been doing this for longer than I've been alive. But Ben has given me so much great advice throughout the years. He's been one of my biggest mentors and fans. No matter how good or how bad you think I may be, for him to tell me that is what matters. So, obviously, some of the best... excuse me, that's still kicking.
I was going to ask.
Some of the best advice that I've ever got from Ben was to be Ryan Stevens. A lot of the things that I have built into my repertoire are from the people I listened to growing up. Your Dave Moody's, who I had the privilege of listening to at Thunder Road. Troy Germain, also from Thunder Road. But then the guys from TV. And I just remember calling a qualifying session with Ben. He would do a car, I would do a car. That's typical of sharing the role of in the announcer's booth. And he's got a very unique delivery. Mm-hmm. And he's got unique catchphrases and things that he says.
His cadence.
His cadence is... and I just remember being like, and they entered the sunset into turn 3 as the turn 3 was in the shade.
Yeah, that's
and I tried
totally a Ben Dodge
right,
line.
I tried to embellish some of those things into what I was saying, and Adford's like, we did a very good job. But he's like, I just want to remind you, you be Ryan Stevens. And from that moment on, I said, okay, he's right. I needed to put my own voice out there. So the next time we did qualifying, the next day, he did his delivery, and I just called it like I always called it.
There you go.
Like, that was so much more natural. I think it flowed a lot better, and he was right. On to number 4, and that last one still lingering with me, and I'm gonna break into the beer here because I found this to be my best antidote.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and this is what we're gonna say. If you join us on the show, you bring your own cool down lap, whatever you would like, and you can be a 6 sauce champ if you want. Don't touch the milk or whatever it is that you bring, your creamsicle.
Yeah, we're not here to shame you on the sauces.
No. You do it the way you want to do it. And we've done lineups like this before without touching anything, but what we found in that experience is that we actually appreciate each sauce better if we do have the palate cleanser in between.
It is nice to have a palate cleanser.
Yeah. Well, that said,
Ryan
Stevens.
Oh, yes.
We are no longer fucking around.
Okay.
Welcome to the Carnival, my friend.
Oh, I love carnivals. They're my favorite scam.
We've got the Scotch bonnet, blended yellow pepper. There's some scorpion in here, some other things that I don't know how to pronounce.
Oh my god, it has the smell. It has the smell. This is going to be hot.
We will hash this out. If there's one, let's say, flaw in my lineup, it might be that I'm ramping it up too fast.
That's delicious.
Mm-hmm. Oop, yep, just started getting me.
Okay, so it's got a sweet, it's got some sweetness up front. I get the citrusy notes. I'm not tasting the ginger.
No.
This is another one that comes on late, and it is coming on.
Yeah.
It starts in the back of your mouth and works its way forward.
Yes, it did the same with me.
It has a very, good flavor. So like, if you're eating a bowl of rice and you put some of this in there, like you're gonna get a nice flavor. Okay, I'm starting to feel it. It's creeping up I'm starting to sweat in my brow. So that's good.
Yeah, there is an element of punishment there, but
it's a good punishment.
It's pleasurable, right? Like
yep.
I don't know, like
it's starting to activate. The more I talk, the more it activates. I like a sauce that does that.
So, NASCAR calls.
Okay.
Like, hey, we know that your style is not having a producer in your ear, but we love the way you call races. We really think your expertise would be great on the big show. We'd like to give you a trial run. You're not earning the big bucks yet, buddy, but we want to bring you in. What's your response?
So, I don't think I could say no to, because I've said this before and I know where this question comes from. I've always said, I'm happy where I'm at. I love what I do at the local level.
That is exactly where the question comes from.
Which is the God's honest truth. I really enjoy the local level. The racers out there, they're still real people at this point, that just do this on the side. But I'm a big race fan too. So I love what I do at the local level. If NASCAR were to say, hey, even if they're just like, we need you to fill in and call a race this week, I wouldn't say no to it. I don't say no to much when it comes to doing racing stuff. I mean, luckily I've been doing this long enough where, I'd have those initial butterflies, and I think I'd get into it as the race went. I couldn't say no to it. If it paid really well, and that became my job, that might change some things. But with what I have going on now with a young kid, and that being my focus, she matters more than this stuff right now. It'd have to take care of all those things for it to be feasible. But I wouldn't turn down the trial run like you asked there.
All right, I am excited for this one, and not just because it has a really cool stamp on the top with the wax. The Dawson's Hot Sauce Zuzu 7-Pot. We've got a 7-pot mash that we're working with here with some red peppers, and it's such a different kind of heat. I mean, I'm just going to let you try it, and we'll see. The main reason I picked it, I mean, the Maker's Mark wax and everything did help. I really like the look of the bottle. Yeah. The fennel in this one, that licorice flavor.
Oh, okay.
It's like, who thought to put that in a hot... Ooh.
I like licorice. This is going to be fun. So, cheers to this one.
Yes, and I'm with you. I'm putting more on there than I usually put on mine because, again, this is the show. Let's do it.
I want to make sure I'm getting the taste. This is... I've never been disappointed by Dawson, so let's see what happens. That licorice. Up front on the licorice. Now the heat, it's there. It is coming up, and it is tingling. It's hot. That licorice flavor definitely makes it stand out.
It's such a unique heat. It really, really is.
Ooh.
So, you are by far the biggest fan of Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise that I have ever met.
Oh, yeah.
And I talk to a lot of film buffs. Those are the people that I socialize with. And you, when it comes to Halloween, have them beat by miles and miles.
Really? Okay.
What is it about the Michael Myers character and the way John Carpenter presents him, or any of the other filmmakers that have handled the franchise, that keeps drawing you back for more, movie after movie?
So the thing that always drew me to Michael Myers, another great question. I've always liked realism in horror movies because I feel like the most scary thing is what could actually happen. So when I see Friday the 13th go off the rails and Jason is more or less a zombie.
Part 6.
But even in the first couple, it's like he's dead or is he not dead? What is he? What is he? Is he a ghost? What is Jason? You know? So when you throw the supernatural aspect, like Freddy Krueger, he's all supernatural. When you throw that away. To me, Michael Myers has always been cloaked in realism. And obviously, as the movies went, they tried to expand on his lore, and it ruined the mystique of what, to me, excuse me, here comes the burps. What made Michael Myers so appealing to me is the fact that in the first movie, he's a guy who murders his sister, goes to jail, breaks out. I'm sorry, it was the escaped lunatic plot. That guy could literally find my house first and start stabbing me. And to me, that's always been the most scary thing, because that could happen.
Yeah.
The realism of the fact that that's a man in a mask with a big-ass knife who's killing people, that has been what has drawn me to it. Now, you go back and watch the latest trilogy, it seems like they wanted to go back to the man in the mask thing, and then they expanded on it. Is he supernatural? Is he not? Is he just strong? I don't know. Right. So I do enjoy some of that questioning of the character.
I do like that we don't know.
Right.
Because the thing that makes it scary to me, the thing that makes Michael Myers the scariest, even though, you know, I'm a Jason fan, I think Jason's cool. And
Jason is cool. Don't get me wrong. Fucking cool. But
while there's a lot of...
I know he ain't going to kill me while I sleep. So.
there's a lot of really good continuity from part 1 to 8. There are also some leaps like, wait a second, this doesn't exactly fit on the timeline. Was he a child? Was he in the... Wait a second.
Yeah.
So Pamela did or didn't know that he was still alive. But with Michael, throughout the entire franchise, people are trying to understand him, and the scary thing about it is that you can't. He just does what he does, and there's no real explanation. It's just...
That was the draw that John Carpenter had on Michael Myers to begin with. It's like, I don't want to explain too much. I want you to think about it. That's why the end scene of Halloween is all the places where Michael Myers has been, and is he there, is he not? He wanted to make it up to you. Do you think he's supernatural? Do you think he's just a man in a mask? Somebody can put on a Halloween mask and go out and kill somebody, and that's super realistic. And that to me is scary, because the most scary thing in the world is people. You heard it here first.
All right, man. I know you and I both like the name of this company, Puckerbutt.
Yeah, okay.
Puckerbutt Pepper Company, Reaper Squeezins. And you know that when they get up to sauces that are over 2 million Scoville units, we're not getting fancy with the ingredients. This is just Carolina Reaper and more Carolina Reaper.
And Carolina Reaper, at a time, was the hottest pepper in the world. Smokin' Ed Curry, who is the man behind Puckerbutt here, he continuously sets out to find the new hottest pepper and cross-pollinates and germinates these new peppers. So at one point, this Carolina Reaper was the hottest thing there is, and is probably the best tasting hot pepper out there.
I agree with that.
So I'm excited. It's going to have a good taste, but I know what it's going to do.
Yeah,
it's got that smell. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. That's a lot of pepper in that sauce. Because you get the sweet, the Reaper will lure you in with its sweetness, and then it bites you. And you get it's a cool coating that you get when you first bite. And then it starts getting you with the scythe. And it stabs every one of your taste buds, and it is hot, and now it's got the ears. I've got the ears.
Yes.
It is warming the ears.
This is the only sauce I've ever tried that actually affects other parts of my body than just my mouth.
Yep. It's
and
warming
it's the ears.
my face, and it's gone to my ears.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah,
it's lighting me up.
This is very hot. I expect nothing less out of Puckerbutt. I love this. This is a good sauce. This is a good super hot.
Yeah, right?
It's very good, but it's very spicy. I can't wait to see how I'm going to answer this question, though.
All right. I just handed you the keys to your very own quarter-mile asphalt track.
Okay.
Your own bull ring.
Okay.
You're opening for your first ever event. Fantasy book that card for me. And if you want to get into... we're starting our points division. This is just an exhibition. What the payouts are. You can. Because I know you can. But the main question is just, who's driving? What cars are we seeing?
That's an awesome question. That's fun. I would keep it simple, yet effective. 4 divisions. Super late models would be the headlining division. Because I'm imagining the track is here in the South. Mm-hmm. And the super late models are the late model style car of the South. That is the top bill. If we're up north, you can go pro stocks, you can go late model stocks. But I'm going to go super late models, a 200 lap race.
Ooh.
20,000 a win.
Okay.
And
have you thought about this before?
I know what would draw. And I would somehow, if money were no object, I'd make it $1,000 to start. But that's if you qualify. I would run heats. I would set the field via heats and a last chance qualifier. No provisionals. You race your way in, you earn your starting spot if I'm going to pay that much money. If I get a sponsor, maybe there's a extra money to win a heat race, to put an extra incentive on there. And then for a support division, you got to have a 4-cylinder division. So I would run what we know as the bombers and or the mini stocks. I would run them 25 lap feature, 500 to win, something like that. Make it worth their while. Nobody's getting rich running a mini stock, but we want you on the card. We want that entry level to where the guy sitting in the grandstands feels like he can go out there and be a part of this too. So there's my top. There's my bottom of the card. I love the sportsman division. I love the outlaw bodies. I love the way those cars look. I love the engineering ingenuity that goes into the bodies. They don't all look the same. Mm-hmm. Let's say the sportsman are the second on the bill. I give them a 50 lap race, 1,500 to win. Figure out the rest of the pay throughout the field to make it worthwhile. Because again, I'm fantasy booking here. Cost is not an issue. This is hot.
Yeah,
it's building and the tears are coming down.
This
is great.
My eyes are watering.
This is really, really good.
May I say, before you tell me what the fourth division is, I like how realistic this event sounds. I was wondering if you might go the total opposite direction and just say, you know what, screw it, we're running everything. People, I want to put on
that's not consumable. The fans will all leave before the main event. So I want to make this. That's why I keep it 4 divisions. Yeah, big race at the end. On top of the card, the tears are coming. This is fantastic. So
you want another dab?
I've got late models, 200 laps at the top of the show.
Well, I gotta join you then.
I've got the mini stocks as your entry level division, and I gotta have the pure stocks or super stocks.
Okay.
That same style car, that Monte Carlo Camaro style car.
Open rules.
Yeah. Let's go 750 to win. It's a 25 lap race, so it's not a big race, but it's good support. I would run heats and features for all classes. Start the heats at 5 o'clock. Features start right after the heats are done. So it would go, your pure stocks will be up first. You run their heats. Mini stocks would be second. Late models, super lates would be third. Sportsman would be fourth. Features. We start with the pure stocks, then we run our mini stock feature. Then we run the main event. We do driver introductions. We run the main event 200 laps. Then we pull the 50-50. And then we have the sportsman. Because I want the true fans that are sticking around to see a hell of a show all the way through.
I like that.
Give them a reason to be there, and they'll stick around. The true diehards. You start the show early enough to where they don't feel like they have to get the hell out of there. They're going to stick around. That would be on my quarter-mile high bank bull ring. That would be my first ever show if money were no option.
Man, I can really see that water coming in your eyes.
Yeah, no, this is a spicy sauce. It's got a really good flavor. I don't recommend that to go out and barbecue wings with. But if you really want to put yourself to the test, it's good. I like a sauce. Here's the thing. I like a sauce that has a good flavor. I've had sauces before. All you taste is heat, and you get the flavor.
Yeah,
that has the flavor.
Right.
It also packs a punch.
And that's why it made it to be my 6th slot, because I wanted something that had the exact qualities that you just described.
Yep.
You did it, man.
Made it through the 6 sauce gauntlet.
Yes. So
hell of a lineup.
Do a burnout and tell everybody whatever shout outs you have, dude.
Well, make sure you're all tuning in weekly to the Racing with Ryan podcast. I put a lot of time and effort into that show to keep you guys up to date with what's going on in the local racing community here in Central Florida and give you a peek behind the curtain because sometimes things aren't what they appear. So I like to be transparent, tell you guys a little bit of, what you might not know, and then showcase our racers. I have plenty of interviews, plenty of analysis, and we have a good time. Sometimes we make some jokes. We talk local short track racing here in Florida. We talk NASCAR. We talk whatever other news is going down and having a good time. So tune into the Racing with Ryan podcast. Check out Exploring the Monolith on SoundCloud or Bandcamp if you like music and you want to see what it is I come up with in my spare time. And then, of course, you can hear me Saturday nights on the mic at New Smyrna Speedway calling the racing action.
And thanks to all the sponsors of the Racing with Ryan podcast as well. Your
course.
support keeps that guy going.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, and next time, you're going to be turning the table on me, asking me 6 questions with 6 of your sauces, and I understand a couple of those you made yourself, so I can't wait.
Right.
Especially, you gave me a sample of one that's not in the lineup, and it was really yummy, so I cannot wait to try your homemade sauces along with the rest of your lineup on
spoiler
episode
alert,
2.
the couple of sauces that made my 6 lineup taste even better.
This is Do a Burnout. Is that the energy I want?